intense rivalry between the two of them. A lot of it has been stirred up by the media and the reporters covering the league. I don't think there's necessarily so much real bad blood between the two of them. That's a Taylor Swift reference in regards to my first story. But the way that the league is handling talking about the rivalry, because we know that a lot of commotion has been stirred up playing the race card between these two fine athletes. And WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, she was invited on CNBC recently, and she was asked how the league has tried to stay ahead of racism and homophobia. And her answer literally did not address the question, but instead kind of painted this in a very rosy situation, which people do not appreciate. Listen.
Now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved in saying some very uncharitable things about the other?
Well, the one thing that's great about the league right now, we do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion and music. Like, the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979, when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
Hold on. So is she encouraging it? So she doesn't seem to think it's a problem. To me, it looks like she's encouraging it. I'm going to be honest. That's definitely not the response I thought she was going to give. But it doesn't seem like she's going to enforce anything. It doesn't seem like it's a problem to her or the WNBA. It seems like she likes it and she's here for it. She stands by it. Wow. Maybe I'm viewing it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that response meant.
Okay, so listen, what she said, yes, is absolutely true. You like the rivalry, the bad blood, right? The drama. It's what entices some people to want to watch sports who aren't just straight up sports fans who are there to watch, how many rebounds, assists, and points that a player gets in a game, but they want to see and hear about the drama. Yes, absolutely. That's great. Brings in an entirely new fan base. Also, I'm sure drives up ratings. But fact is, Kathy Engelbert did not even address the idea that there's racism being inserted into the league at the behest of the two-star players. I mean, this is sickening, really, to hear about. And a lot of it, like we said, is really just drummed up by the media, a lot by fans, and really doesn't actually exist in real life. So the fact that she didn't just swat down that racism and homophobia, if you will, also, which I haven't heard so much about that, doesn't have a place in the league. Instead, she just talks about how profitable this type of rivalry is actually pretty shameful. And a lot of players were calling her out for her response to the CNBC's host question. For example, Aces player Sydney Colson. This is funny. She tweeted out a clip from the Adam Sandler movie Billy Madison, where the actor in the movie says, quote, "What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard," which, massive Billy Madison fan here, so I know exactly what line that is. And that is the perfect meme to respond to this. Fantastic job, Sydney. But then there was a fan who responded, and this is just a little bit more straightforward. No sarcasm or comedy inserted into this response. They said, "Imagine being asked about racism being directed at one of your players, and your response is that the rivalry is good for the league." Good Lord. Facts.
Like, literally, how can you sit there and respond with that answer? So thank you. Justifying what I said. That is absolutely crazy to me that you're allowing racism and it's being directly straightforward, putting it out there as racism to the league, to some of the girls in the league. And you're pretty much saying, Well, I think it's good. We need this in the league. We need this rivalry in the league. So just because you're seeing a spike in what's going on in the league, you're going to say it's okay for there to be racism involved in the league now. Wow. This is actually mind-blowing. This is actually mind-blowing that I'm hearing this and listening to this. Wow.
So yeah, I have to imagine Kathy Engelbert was probably advised before she went on the show, because I'm sure they knew some of these questions were going to pop up. Be careful about how you answer, maybe avoid. So she probably just took the advice of whatever consultant or media director that the WNBA has. I have to imagine there was some of that beforehand, but I mean, come on. You can't just respond like that. You can't just straight up ignore the question when this has been like a really pretty terrible storyline that's been permeating the league since Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese entered. And we've also seen Caitlin Clark be horribly mistreated as a result of, some of these same issues, whether or not it's actually racially driven or people are just jealous of Caitlin Clark. We have seen Caitlin Clark be mistreated, and a lot of big names have stepped up in defense of Caitlin Clark. Okay.
100%. And that's the truth. We've seen it. We've seen the hatred towards Caitlin Clark. We've seen it all. We've seen the way these girls treat them. We've seen how the veterans treat them. We've seen how ex-players have treated them. And it's clear. We see the fan base. We see all of it. And I'm going to be honest. I have seen some personal stuff directed towards me when I cover certain women in the WNBA or certain topics they don't want me to cover. They don't want me to express the truth when it comes down to it. And I've seen some pretty crazy things from some fans said to me, and I haven't really addressed it. So, and the time will come if I have to really address it if it doesn't stop. Me, I just know how the media works, so I kind of just, take it to the shoulder, whatever. And I'm going to continue to talk and, talk how I feel and the truth in my opinion and what I think and what I see on the basketball court. So if that's a problem, it is what it is. Now, as far as me not being as active for the past couple of days, I have had a toothache, and you probably could still hear me talking. So a week and a half ago, I was sick. So I was sick for about 5 days. That's why I was only putting about two videos a day. Then I got a toothache. So that's been, jacking me up a little bit. But yeah, we're back. I'm pushing content. I got a lot of topics and things I want to catch up with. If there's anything you guys want to see specifically, please let me know, and we're going to finish off right here. Look, the whole racial thing, this is actually going to be an issue if nothing gets handled. I really, really think somebody needs to come with some authority and mandate that this comes to an end or this comes to a decrease or something, because we can't have the girls in the WNBA feel and start putting out all these media lines and storylines that there's racism and that they feel threatened and multiple things threatening to their house or whatever the case is and their life on social media. We cannot have that. This is messy. This is not professional basketball. So we should definitely put an end to this as fast as possible. So whoever that's going to be, I don't know if it needs to be a league decision or we need to come together, but this is not okay. And we're making it sound like it's okay. And I don't like that at all. And that's not what's going to help grow the game. We need real fans to help grow the game, not because there's a race war going on, which is absolutely outdated. Like, let's be real right now. Come on, man. Let's cut the stuff and let's just all help this thing grow to the right way, in the right direction, in positive direction. And let's just compete and make it about basketball. And if there's rivalries, leave it between the lines. Leave it between the team and the team and the players, man. Besides that, it's your boy ceokana. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to Game Day Network. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.